hi everyone, I'm on 2 devices like I was the other day, so we'll see how this goes. Hayley's on us with Zoom, so if I'm mentioning people's names and you can't see them on the live, it's because we've got Zoom as well. And I thought I'm going to do meal prepping, and then I went, oh my god, I'm moving house, what am I even thinking? I've got all my stuff, or what am I cooking? I'm not as organized as I normally am, but I'll still be able to show you some stuff. So this is like hot mess cooking 101. Right, so I've got some mince, and I've got some chicken, and I've got some steak. So I always buy my meat as big as I can afford. It works out cheaper that way. I normally only buy it when it's on special, and then I prep it and cut it into whatever I want. I kind of have an idea already of what I'm going to cook, and then I put it in the freezer into freezer keepers. So these are the freezer keepers, and normally I've got a really good idea of what I'm doing, but I suddenly went like 20 minutes ago, I don't even have an onion. Okay, so we're not doing onion cooking, but I always cook my mince before I put it in, or if I'm going to be doing rissoles or hamburger patties or something, I will always pre-cook it into that, and then we'll pre-organize it into that and put it in the freezer. So we have our Tupperware casserole dish. Does it have the dimensions on the bottom? Oh, it does, thank goodness. 4.1 litre, really, really decent size, and it's got a handy dandy lid that goes with it. I have seen a consultant do a roast lamb in this in the oven, but I would say don't put it in over 140. So you'd want to be doing it really slow and not too hot, because the lid is still glass. But this part can definitely go in. So if you want like a lasagna, potato bake type deal, this can be your thing. We also have the Ultra Pro, is that what are they called? Ultra Pro, which can go in the oven as well, which we use. So I normally use the Ultra Pro in the oven and this on the oven. Okay, so we're going to get the mince browning. So I'm going to try and multitask. So this could be where the laughter starts. I've got some Simon Gold. Oh, it's not his stuff, but he gave it to us in a prize. This type of olive oil, I don't know how to say it, I'm not a fancy person, but it's delicious. And olive oil is really good for you. You don't want to ever get it burning though, okay? Like if you were on my demo one time, you would have seen me just about getting it burning. So I heat my pan up, and I'm going to get some garlic. Pre-cut, and I have no garlic. I just normally buy it crushed, but we of course do have a garlic crusher, but ain't nobody got time for that. I've not got time to crush garlic. I'm a busy mum. Right, so I'm preheating my pan. I normally do a teaspoon of garlic, decent sized teaspoon, especially because this is nearly a kg of mince, and I always buy crushed ginger, so I'm going to put some crushed ginger in there. Let me do a teaspoon of that as well, because ginger, of course, is great for you. Obviously, if I had ginger root, I could grate ginger root in there, and it would be even better for you, but that's okay. I've got oregano, so these are our little spicy things. This is the large, this is the small. Spice shakers is their official name. And I've got 2 sides, come in different colors. At the moment, it's blue and black, and you've got the shaky side. Really good, airtight. Okay, shaky holes, and then over this side, you've got the hole that you can get your teaspoon into if you wanted to. Right, so put all my flavors in there ready to go. I'm actually thinking I'm going to get a teaspoon of that because it's a lot of mince. I'm a little bit boring. I normally flavor them the same every time. Not massively, I'm not a massive foodie. And paprika, I use paprika all the time. So this size fits, you know, you can buy the boxes from the supermarket of herbs and spices. Hey Shirley, this fits a whole box in there, and of course you could fit more than one box in that one. So that's our little bit of that done. I love when I find it. I've got lots of the Tupperware KP tools, so I must say I probably prefer the flat spoon over the spatula thing. Right, so we've got our flavors all nicely mixed through the oils, and we're ready to get our mince in there. And I've got here a Clear Mate, which has some tinned tomato in it. So I did a demonstration on Clear Mates. I dread to think, but it would be maybe 10 days ago. And I needed to show, was I showing how the can opener worked or how the Clear Mates? Anyway, I opened a tin and I put it in here, and I used a tiny bit out of it it wasn't last night, when Mum was here a few days ago. But this fits a whole one of these tins in here, and it lasts for ages because you've got your really good seal, okay? So we've got our tomato ready to put in. Going, I've got the element on nice and high, just like glass in there. And I will put some tomato in when that is brown. So often what I'll do is, okay, we're going to have, hey Bridget, we're going to do mince for tea tonight, and then we'll have mince. Hey Karen's coming on there. Mince that we will freeze into one of these containers to pull out later. So then I'm a busy mum, it's already cooked, I pull it out, I reheat it, and then I've got my lovely rice cooker, which doesn't just do rice, it does pasta as well. And if you want it to be spaghetti in it, I just break the spaghetti in half. But you can get a spaghetti cooker, which is made of the same thing, it's just longer, but you've got to make sure you've got the right size microwave for it. So that's a little life hack on that one. Rice for the whole thing is $33. I accidentally ordered another one. So if you want one, I ordered one for a lady and then another lady will want one. That's a long story. Okay, so you put your rice in the base or your pasta or whatever. There's a fill line. Here is a fill line. Oh, there we go. The light was wrong. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that. The lining thing's there and it says max. So just don't fill it over max. You put your pasta or your rice or your spaghetti in or whatever in your water, and then you sit this on top. This is your starch collector. So when things are getting really hot in the microwave, it's going to start bubbling all up. We don't want it bubbling over into the microwave. So it's going to bubble up into there. Okay, and it's going to also collect the starch, which is good. Then you put your lid on and it's got a further area for catching overflow. So as long as you are not overcooking it and overfilling it, you are not going to have spillage through your microwave. Right, just give this a minute. Last time I was doing a cooking demo, I was in the process of doing open homes and it was spitting everywhere and I was like, I've just cleaned my house. So it's sold now, so I still need to keep it kind of nice, but not quite as OCD. Right, I can smell all those beautiful flavors cooking from there. Oh, I just remembered, I think I was supposed to make meat patties for our burgers at Sarah's house tonight, but whatever, it's okay. We are now having pre-cooked meats. Right, so I've also got steak. So what I normally do with the steak is a stir fry. So these packets that you get from the supermarket, they are not designed for you to freeze it. Now, I would not be freezing meat.
You're seriously trying to beat again.
I'm not making the meat. I will freeze it, but you don't want
it pop up.
Hang on. Well, I heard someone here, but it must have just been my puppy. Anyway, that's my rant over. In an ideal world, I'd go into the supermarket and I'd fill up my Clearmate with steak if I could and completely bypass the need for this. So if you're going to a butchery, take this in, get them to weigh your container, put the steak in, weigh it again, and you don't have to do this plastic waste. I hate it. Clearmates are amazing. We're going to talk about those soon. All right, that's looking pretty good. So I'm just about ready to put the tomato in, and then we'll put the lid on to let it simmer. Right, these Clearmates are really awesome if you are prepping. If you're prepping, okay, so say you're thinking, all right, we're going to do a stir fry. So I'm going to cut my steak up, and I'm going to freeze my steak into stir fry cut of meat, and then we're going to have a whole lot of cut carrots and some veggies. You can put those in here, and then you can literally pull it out, put it in the fry pan. It's good to go. The steak's cut, the veggies are prepared. Okay, you've taken all the shells off and the cores out, or the whatever needs to happen to get it ready for cooking. So that's what these Clearmates are good for. This is the newer Clearmate. I've had this Clearmate since I started Tupperware when I was in my 20s. So they last forever. Tupperware has a lifetime guarantee on most things. Obviously, if you drop these and crack it, that's not Tupperware's fault. That's your fault. You'll be able to get a replacement and pay for it. But if, say, it starts peeling or doing some other weird things that it shouldn't do, then you can get it replaced for free. But if you have microwaved in it, that will void the warranty. So do check what different conditions there are on some of the warranty items. Clearmates are really good. So they've got little feet on them. Here. You can sit it on the top of your Clearmate, and then when you're moving it around, it's not just going to fall off. So you can carry a big stack of prepped food and out you come. I'll just check my mix. Right, that's looking good. And as I was mentioning before, this spoon, like our spatula is probably my least preferred Tupperware KP tool. I have this little spatula, which is not Tupperware, don't tell anyone. It's so handy and it's so cute. But otherwise, that spoon is really good as well. I actually gave the Tupperware spatula away. I think I just saw, or maybe I've packed it. I'm thinking it's not in my drawer. That's how much I don't like it. So if you like it, can you tell me why you like it? Because I need convincing. Right, so we've got our pre-prepared tomatoes that have been in here for 100 years, as I told you about. We're going to put those in. I don't want it to spit everywhere yet, so I'm going to put the lid on while I zizz the other one. So I'm going to show you something you're going to be super envious of, and you probably don't know why, and you're going to be envious because you can't get them at the moment. Okay, so this is the Tupperware can opener. So you open it up. Teresa's on here. I remember watching Teresa's demonstration when she first got the Tupperware can opener, and she didn't check how to use it before she demonstrated it. It was hilarious. She was doing it right. She just didn't know what to do after that. So you put it on. Look, it's hands-free. I'm not having to like worry about holding the can. Teresa's got the laughy face on. So I'm twisting it, and then it goes click, and you can feel that you've gone all the way around the tin, and then you take this part off, and then at the end there's a little openy closey thing, openy closey. So your openy closey thing on there, and you clamp it on, and then you pull it, voila, okay, and the lid just comes off, and you're not going to cut yourself. It's beautiful and smooth, but you can't get these. So if you want a can opener, sometimes I bring that on special. Pop a can opener below, and I'll make sure that I get you one when they come out, if they come out. I think it costs $52, which seems a ridiculous price for a can opener, but if it works, who cares? Right, I'll just put that on for a minute while I put the rest of the tomatoes in. Okay, and we'll turn that down to a simmer, so that's just going to do its thing. Don't need that noise anymore. Right, what was I talking about? I was probably not talking about this, but this is important to say. Yeah, I'm not fussy with my food. I just want to make it and have it done. I'm all the more than happy to clear 2 or 3 hours once a week to prep the dinner, but thinking about spending an hour every night, oh my goodness, cannot. Okay, so this rice cooker is gold. So tonight we could have rice with mince. The next night we could have spaghetti or like pad thai noodles, cook them in here. You obviously don't have to do it that long, so don't do it how long rice takes. And then you've got your steak prepared. Okay, you've got your chicken. You can have a chicken pasta. So you're just going to brown your chicken, put some flavor through it, cook your pasta, and you mix it all up in the same bowl. If you wanted to make it into a bake, you can use the casserole dish that I'm showing there. So yeah, this is an essential thing. You obviously don't have to have a frying pan as flash as expensive than this, but I tell you what, it lasts, and you make the best pancakes in it. Hey, Natalia. Yeah, so that's amazing. Right, so my steak, normally I prepare the steak with scissors. Another thing you'll find that I often don't use a lot of are the Tupperware knives. I buy these Victorinox ones. I love them. I do have some Tupperware knives. I've packed some, but I'm a little bit scared of big knives. So I find the Victorinox ones, they're small and nasty, but I find I'm less likely to cut my hand off. Right, so I am really fussy with my steaks, and my dog's going to love me. I always cut lots of the fat off. I just like the lean bits that are left. I generally am not like a let's get a huge steak and fry it on the pan and eat it type of girl. So stir fry's good. I actually did a steak pizza the other night and just cut the steak up real tiny. So you could also, of course, prep your tiny steak. So I just cut it into slithers. Look how easy those scissors are. Okay, so then I'll be filling up this container, and then you can get different sizes. So you can get a smaller size, which I do a lot of my meals. If it's just for me and the kids are almost getting a bit big, that this little thing isn't enough. So we are getting to like 3/4 full of this steak level family. One thing I haven't tried, but sometimes I'll get my steak out and marinate it, but I haven't tried freezing and marinating. So if you can marinate and then freeze it, can you pop a yes in the comments, and then I'll know that that's something you can do, because yeah, it seems silly to not marinate it for as long as possible, but I'll get it out all cut like this, mix the marinade through it, and then I'll just leave it in the fridge. We have the season serve for that, which I don't have. I normally just do it in one of these containers, but yeah, if you were wanting to like get hard at into marinating, you'd want to get a season serve. Right, how's our mince looking? It's looking yummy. And I don't put hot mince into these containers, because if I do, see how this one's slightly discolored? It has been around for 100 years. This is one that I've had for a very long time. Yeah, they discolor if you put hot food in there. So I think, yeah, if you rinse them with cold water and then put your cold food in and then put your lid on, you do better. And then as soon as you get your stuff out, give them a rinse out. So that's one thing I have noticed for those, is they stain a little bit. These scissors are super duper too, because they split into 2 pieces for easy cleaning. So do make sure you do split them apart and regularly clean them. My mum didn't, and she said to me, oh, they're fused shut, and that piece in there had fully fused. Just one day said, you've never split me up, I'm full of too much crap, you've never dried me properly, I'm going to die. And so unfortunately for mum, that wasn't covered under warranty, because it was a user error. Okay, so I get my stir fry steak going. In the catalogue as well, you can get freezer labels, so you can actually write on them. But as a general rule, I know what I'm putting in my freezer, and I can just open the lid and have a look. these freezer keeper things, you might be thinking, why don't I just use ice cream containers? See on the bottom of them, they have like a bit of an arch. That means that air can circulate really well around your freezer. If ice cream containers are sitting all on top of each other, especially if you're freezing a whole lot together, the air can't actually circulate in there properly, so things aren't freezing evenly. So these are really good that when that's not a good example because that one's got a popped up lid, when they're actually sitting on each other. There's, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is a slight bow in the bottom, so air is circulating because there's also a groove along the top. Not real easy to show on there. My chicken, what am I going to do with my chicken? I normally just stir fry chicken, to be honest, as well, or I do it into chunks and using my handy dandy fry pan that I showed before, do like a crumbed chicken. So that's quite nice. So all I do is I cut my chicken into chunks, cubes, whatever, and then I toss them through some flavored flour. So I get a little bit of flour and put your paprika or whatever flavorings you like, some herbs, and then I dip them in egg, and then I dip them in crumbs, and then I put them in the pan with a whole lot of butter, and they're crispy and delicious. So I'm thinking that might be on the cards. Normally before I've kind of prepped my meat, I already know what I'm going to cook. It's not often that I'm like, what am I going to make with this meat? But then even if I don't have a plan, this stir fry steak, I could use this as a casserole. This doesn't have to just be stir fry, or if you're going to do a casserole, obviously you just cut it up more cube-like. We do have some flatter containers like this. So sometimes I'll free flow freeze steak and then I'll put it in here in the chunks. But like I said, it's not often that I eat huge big chunks of steak. So don't suppose you need to keep watching me cut my steak. What else do I have to show you? And I can do that afterwards. Yeah, I'm going to do the same with the chicken. These containers here, sometimes it is good to have a whole breast of chicken because you don't always want to have stir fry. You might want to wrap it around in bacon and whatever that's called. You know, when you put cheese in it, wrap bacon around it, bake it in the oven, put some garlic in it. Can't think of the name of them yet. So sometimes you want to have a whole breast. So sometimes I might get a whole breast, cut it in half and just put slices in here, or like your tenderloins. You can fill your tenderloin, this container up with tenderloins. So yeah, basically have a little bit of a plan. So meal prepping 101. When you're doing your groceries, think, what am I going to cook next week or this week or whatever week you're prepping for? What am I going to cook? Okay, what do I need? If you need to look at recipes. If you know off by heart what you always need, go to your cupboard, check you've got it. I shop online, so I put all my stuff into my New World cart and then I just get it delivered, or I pick it up at the lockers. So, right, then you get all your stuff home and you think to yourself, right, what am I cooking? I'm going to do Monday. On Monday, I'm going to do the chicken bacon wrappy thing. So if you've got no garlic, you might if you've got no crushed garlic already brought, you might pre-crush all your garlic, put it in a little container. I'll see if I can find a container in here. You can get a set of 4 of these for $21. So you might get all your garlic, flavor, ginger, whatever, crushed up, ready to go, put that in the container. Okay, that will be Monday's flavors. Get your chicken, cut it up into whatever pieces you want. This is a huge pack. This is not going to do us one whole night. This will probably do us 3 nights. We don't eat a lot of meat, or it might do us 2 nights. We might have 2 breasts one night and then 1 breast the next night. So do be thinking, how can you get the most value for money out of your food that you're buying? Because just because you buy a 1 kg thing of chicken, or however much this is, nearly 1 kg of chicken, doesn't mean you have to eat it all in one sitting, but we often do because we don't want it to keep sitting in the fridge in this plastic container stuff. So if you've got other containers on hand, that's all good, and that's where the Clearmates can come in as well. So say I'm like, all right, we're going to do chicken tonight, and I know we're going to do chicken tomorrow. So I will use the chicken for tonight, might use 1 breast, and then I'll put the other 2 breasts in the Clearmate. Then this goes in the fridge. Really awesome, because you can see what's in here. You're not going to think, oh gosh, what was I going to get out for dinner? Because you go to the fridge, you open it up, it's clear, you can see, oh, there's chicken in there. Obviously, I was going to cook chicken, okay? So, right, you've got your chicken, so you're going to wrap it up in bacon or do whatever, so you can get smaller Clearmates. So you might condense your bacon into here. Here's my Monday night bacon, bam, sit that with your chicken in the fridge, away you go, and then you've also got your little flavor, and you can get Clearmates in this 1 QB size if you want them to all look the same, but I don't care about that. Function is all I care about. Okay, there's Monday. Haven't sorted my veggies. Right, I'm doing the wrappy things. I don't know, I might do it on rice. Okay, so then you're going to make sure you got your rice cooker for Monday night. You don't need to prep anything because your rice is already in your modular container like this, which is easy access. Okay, so you just get your scoop in, get your rice on the night, away you go. Don't need to prep the rice. And then you might be thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to need some sauce to have on this. So then you might get your micro pitcher jug out, make up a bit of a sauce. put it in a container like this so that when you're eating your chicken on your rice, you've got some sauce with it so it's not too dry. Or you might open a tin of coconut cream and pour some of that over, or mix that in with your rice, because we quite often cook our rice, strain it off, and then mix coconut cream through it. So has this been helpful at all? Does that make sense? Someone's chatting over here. Missed the chat. Haha. Karen, you may want to mute. I didn't even notice, Karen, that you weren't muted, so thank you for that. Any questions on here? Yeah, I'm going to go and obviously prep the rest of my meat, and my freezer is going to be full. And then I just realized that we're moving house, so my mission is going to be to eat as much of the food as we can, so we don't have to transport it all to Taranaki or wherever we're moving. I don't even know where we're moving yet. So that's my story. If you've got any questions and I'm your consultant, feel free to reach out to me, or even if I'm not your consultant, I'm happy to help, but make sure you go back to your actual consultant for ordering. Hopefully you've seen my group. Did I share it in here? I might not have shared it yet. I've got a video of our specials that are available this month. We've got our salad spinner, which I was going to show you today. I took out to the garden and got some tomatoes. The rest of it is, here's the lid, and the bowl is in the fridge with the lettuce. But basically you put the lid on, the base is here, and you spin your lettuce out and it gets all your moisture out. We've got the 2-litre drink bottles. We've got little oyster containers and Disney set. I haven't got that to show. And I was also showing, wait, I'll show you this one. Look at this bad boy. It's so big. It's 10 litres. It's got a handle and it's got a lid, so it's watertight and airtight. I thought this would be great for taking to the beach or the river. So you put your stuff in and away you go. What else can I say about this one? You can put your back stock in, so food that you're not using at the moment but you need stored somewhere that doesn't fit in your containers. You can do filing in it. The world's your oyster. Pop in the comments what you would use this for. Would love to know. $65 and $5 goes to the Cancer Society, so it's like a feel-good purchase. All right, I'm going to go off the live. Bye, the never-ending Tupperware party. And I'm going to